I've, 28 female, lost weight and now I want to divorce my husband, 29 male. We've been married for 5 years and together for 7 years. We also have a 3-year-old kid. After having the baby, I struggled a lot with losing the baby weight and adjusting to being a parent. I also had the baby blues at first, which was tough. I wasn't really focused on my appearance, and instead I was trying to figure out our new routine and way of life. But then my husband started making these little comments about my body, and how I should start working out and wearing makeup again. It made me feel really awful, and I worried that he might start looking elsewhere because we weren't being intimate anymore. He even suggested hiring a nanny so I could have more time for myself, but I wanted to be there for our baby full-time, so I turned down the offer. That made him angry and he started acting cold towards me. Months went by without any hugs, kisses, romance, or any kind of affection. My self-esteem hit rock bottom. Every time I looked in the mirror, all I saw were the flaws that my husband pointed out. By this point, our son was already 2 years old and I desperately wanted to win my husband back. I thought that if I got in shape again, he would show me love and affection and our marriage would be saved. I craved his attention so much and it hurt to see how much things had changed. But you can't force someone to be affectionate. I took matters into my own hands and hired some help. With more free time, I started going to the gym, taking swimming classes, which are amazing for your back by the way, getting my hair and lashes done regularly, and eating healthier. And guess what? I've lost a ton of weight and I feel amazing. Suddenly, my husband started touching me, kissing me, buying me flowers and treating me like the complete opposite of how he treated me before. You'd think that would make me feel better, but for some reason, it made me feel worse. All I could think about were the hurtful things he said to me when I was at my lowest, and how cold he was towards me. I get that you can't force attraction, but why couldn't he just hug me or give me a kiss on the cheek even when I was overweight? Why couldn't he love me as a human being and the mother of his child? When my self-esteem came back, I got really angry at myself for putting up with his behavior for so long. A few days ago, I told him I wanted a divorce, because I don't think I can move past how badly he treated me. He apologized and promised to change and prove that he can be better. But honestly, I'm not sure if I can trust him again. What if I gain weight again or have to deal with health issues? Will he treat me like garbage again? I've talked to some friends and family about the whole situation, and some say I should give him another chance, while others say I should leave him. So I'm turning to Reddit for some advice. Am I justified in being upset over this? Do you think it's possible for my husband to change his behavior for the long term, or is a divorce the right move here? Comment 1. Yes, you are justified. I've had huge weight swings in my marriage, and my husband never treated me like shit when I was heavier. Based on what is he going to change? Saying you will is meaningless. Frankly, I wouldn't want to be with someone who treated strangers like that, let alone me. How will he treat your kid if they are overweight? Comment 2. It makes you feel gross, because you're realizing that your husband doesn't love you unconditionally. He loves you only when he thinks you look decent or acceptable. You are absolutely right to ask if he will act like this again, if you go through another pregnancy, or something more medically serious. He says that he'll change, but words and promises mean nothing if you don't actually try and change. I believe the vows are in sickness and in health. You should support your spouse, especially after they gave birth to your child. Comment 3. Gosh, I'm so sorry, this is truly awful. You are 28 years old. I'm a year older than you, I'm almost 30, and I am telling you that there's so much more out there for you. My daughter is 6 now, and when I left her father, I thought my life was over. He used to complain about everything, how I dressed, the music I listened to, the TV shows I watched. I realized after my daughter was born, I would never want her to deal with the treatment I was accepting for myself. Move on. If you gain weight again, or heaven forbid, get sick in some way, this is not the man you want by your side. Those men are out there, and you are so young. You can find someone who will love you with no strings attached. Story 2. My 22 female boyfriend, 24 male, is a passport bro, and I had no idea. I've been with my boyfriend for 8 months. Things have been going really well between us, up until a few days ago. A little backstory. I'm from a Central European country, and he's American. He said he settled in my country because of work opportunities. We met in a coffee house where I work as a barista. We clicked instantly and started going out a few weeks later. Everything was so good and we had so much fun. Fast forward to last week, he asked me to help him with some documentation. I was happy to, as I know my language is hard to understand and even translate sometimes. When I was searching online on his laptop, I stumbled upon some weird websites. They were all about passport bros. I didn't even know what the hell that was at first, and basically had tips on how to settle in foreign countries, where to find a traditional bride, which country has the most beautiful women, etc. I was shocked and so confused. I know I shouldn't have done it, but I wanted to gain some clarity and checked his profile on one of these websites. He had full-on conversations about Eastern European countries, European women, how easy or hard it is to take them out on dates, if it would be better to settle down in Asia instead, and so on. He decided to settle down in my country. I feel dehumanized, and like he fetishized me and the women from my country. Also, our whole relationship has been built on a lie, because he told me he settled down here because he got a job offer. After I found all this stuff, I quickly took a few pictures as proof, and then made up an excuse to come home. He tried to reach out a few times, but I told him I don't feel well so I can't meet up right now. I can't even look at him. I feel so disgusted. Am I overreacting? How can I confront him about all this? Comment 1. If you guys live separately, I'd just text him the pictures, and inform him you don't plan on being his docile Euro wife, and let him know that one thing European women and American women have in common, is none of them are going to settle for a weirdo. Comment 2. I would just exit the relationship. You're both young and you have time to find someone who will respect you. My understanding is, passport bros want submissive women who do all the labor, and likely still contribute 50% financially. It's a lose-win situation for you. Comment 3. You're upset because he sees you as a stereotype, rather than a person. I don't know if you can come back from this. He came to your country and picked you out, like a normal person goes to a supermarket and buys a punnet of strawberries. That's incredibly creepy and dehumanizing. Rather than worry about his feelings, thank your lucky stars you found out now. It's a good thing you aren't stuck with this loser.